Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. It is me, Private Hire Mike, and in today's video we are going to be discussing a very important question. Why do drivers find it so difficult to leave Uber driving? Join me in this video today where we will be discussing this topic further. So let's face it guys, working for Uber isn't as rosy as it once was. We're talking about fixed fares, decreased earnings and increased costs, market saturation, changes in commission rates, safety concerns and regulatory changes both from TfL and Uber. And with all of this combined, the majority of drivers have had enough. We've seen it, we've read the Facebook groups, we've seen the comments, drivers have had enough. But with all that being said, why is it then so hard to leave Uber driving, app driving in general? Join me on this video today guys and we will discover this topic further. First up guys, let's talk about cars. Many of us have invested into our vehicles specifically for driving for Uber. We're talking about purchasing, leasing or upgrading a car. Not to mention ongoing costs such as insurance and maintenance. Once you've sunk thousands of pounds into a vehicle, there's a strong urge to keep driving to make that investment worth it, even if daily earnings have dipped. Then there's the time and effort we put into mastering this gig, learning the best routes, understanding the app, navigating the rush hours. Leaving now feels like throwing away all of that hard-earned knowledge. And don't forget the licensing compliance, especially cities like London. Getting a private driver license can take months and is not just a straightforward process. With that license alone, you have to have a criminal record check, a medical test, a topographical assessment, an English exam, and sometimes that can take up to a year. The sunk cost fallacy is essentially a cognitive bias where someone continues to invest time and money into something such as a business despite knowing that their investment is a downhill slope. We see this a lot in other businesses where people continue, such as failed restaurants. But again, as Uber drivers, we see ourselves doing this a lot of times as well. We continue to drive feeling like things are going to get better. And this highlights my first point, the sunk cost fallacy. So when we first talk about driving for Uber, the first thing that we usually think about as a driver is the freedom and flexibility that Uber offers. You're basically your own boss, choosing the hours and how long you want to work for. Think about it, you can essentially log on and log off the app at any time you want. Got a family event? No problem. Don't feel great one day? Just take some time off work. This kind of flexibility is what draws in so many drivers to this app and is one of the reasons why it's so hard for drivers to leave. The fact that it allows you to make choices about your lifestyle, meaning that you can be a morning worker or a night worker. When it comes to Uber, you can set your schedule. Then there's the next one guys, hoping that things will get better. This is a commonality amongst many Uber drivers. We've all heard it. Had a bad start to the day, but I hope later on will get better. The weekdays haven't been busy, but I'm hoping the weekend will be better. We are living in hope, and we can look at this as optimism bias, hoping that a situation will improve or get better, almost ignoring the fact though of all of the facts that we have seen beforehand. And we a lot of times see this with gamblers. Gamblers do this a lot. They'll say to you, I'll win on the next spin on the roulette wheel, or the next horse will win the race. Despite the fact that they have lost countless times before, they always live in hope that things will be better. And this is another reason why Uber drivers continue to drive and find it difficult to leave. The hope that things will get better. So moving on to the next reason why a lot of drivers find it difficult to leave Uber is instant gratification. We all love a little bit of instant gratification in today's age. Let's dive into what this means for drivers. In today's world, instant results are very extremely satisfying. For Uber drivers, this comes in the form of instant earnings. Finish a ride and bam, the money's straight into your bank account. For example, You get a ride from Heathrow or Gatwick to Manchester, you drop off, you make £300, you're able to cash out that money straight away, and that money is usually in your bank account within seconds. No waiting around for a weekly or monthly paycheck. This immediacy is very powerful. It's not just about money hitting your bank account really quickly, it's about seeing the real-time results from your efforts. Drive more and earn more. It's as simple as that. And that's how Uber keep you hooked on the app, because they know that every driver is trying to maximize their earnings so that they can cash out at the end of the day. And that's one of the reasons why they introduced that cash out feature on their app. Whilst instant gratification is good, there is a slight catch. It can keep us hooked on the short term, but overlook the long-term results. It is crucial to understand this as an Uber driver, as this is one of the reasons why Uber drivers find it very difficult to leave this industry, because you are basically getting instantly paid. The next reason why a lot of drivers find it difficult to leave Uber is social proof. Social proof from other drivers who make money. You see it a lot of the time on the Facebook groups, people posting screenshots of over £1,000 per week. Maybe your colleagues or friends who on 1 week earn £1,000 and they share it with you. I've had it myself. This social proof, in a way, is what keeps us going on, because we can see from our peers, from other drivers, that they're making money. So we feel like we can make money too. And this kind of intertwines with my other point, the optimism bias, rather, which essentially means that you're expecting positive outcomes to come about more so than negative ones, despite the history and data that you've observed before. All right, let's talk about another significant reason why a lot of us drivers stick with Uber: the lack of viable alternatives. This is a big one, so let's break it down. For many drivers, Uber isn't just a job, it's the most accessible option. Whether it's the flexibility, the ease of entry, or simply the availability of work, alternatives that tick all of these boxes are hard to come by. Consider the flexibility we talked about earlier. Few jobs offer the same amount of control over your hours and earnings. For parents or students or anyone with unpredictable schedules, finding a similar job that offers the same flexibility isn't easy. And then there's the entry barrier. To get started with Uber, you'll need a driving license, a TfL badge, and a suitable car. And you're pretty much set to start earning. Compare that to other jobs that require certain qualifications, experience, or long hiring processes, and you'll see why Uber becomes the go-to. And let's not overlook the economic climate. In terms of economic downturn or job scarcity, gig jobs like Uber can be a lifeline. They offer the immediate employment without the lengthy processes of traditional job hunting. So the lack of comparable alternatives leaves a lot of us stuck in the driver's seat working for Uber. It's not just about sticking with what you know. It's often about not having the choice that meets your needs as well as Uber does. So I hear you ask, what's the exit strategy for us Uber drivers? For many, it's slowly reducing the dependency on Uber driving or getting qualifications for other jobs. If you're an Uber driver thinking about these issues, or if you have successfully transitioned to another field of work, share your experience or tips in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell icon for similar videos that are coming up in the future. And most importantly, guys, stay safe, and I'll see you in another video from me, Private Hire Mike.